let me move to the third group that is in this new group that we're creating today. School children. We must protect them. And the way we must be able to get them back in school. Now, you know, of course, that CDC has not provided this vaccine can go to anyone 16 or under. But the goal is to get these kids back in school. These children are obviously our future. These children are Ohio's future. We must invest in our future. We must invest in our children. The latest data shows, as of last week, that 45% of our children in Ohio, in public schools, are now fully remote. 45% are fully remote, not in class at all. 26% of our children in the state of Ohio, our school-age children, K through 12, are partially remote, so they're what we will call hybrid. That means that 71% of all the children attending public schools in the state of Ohio are not fully in person. And there's many reasons for this. Many schools have struggled with this. Many have tried to open, were open for a while, and have had problems in keeping kids in class because of quarantining. Some of them had problems in regard to personnel, and some of them they have had to pull back. That is very understandable. We are in a very difficult period of time. Some children, when I talk to parents and I talk to educators, it's clear some children do well remotely. There's probably a small minority that maybe even prefer it and do better. But some do okay. Some do better, some do okay. But there's some who certainly do not do as well. And those are particularly the kids that we must worry about. We've had some children who have been remote the entire year, and some of them have done fine. But it's clear that others have not. We've been told by parents, I've been told by parents, by educators, that some of these children, because they're out of class, have more mental health problems. They have more emotional problems. They have concerns, the parents do, about their social well-being, as well as the mental health. We've also seen, there have been reports and some clear evidence of this, that absenteeism has gone up among some of these children. So I want to make it very clear. These are decisions that schools have made, families have made, and they've been made in good faith by everyone. But I believe it's time to get all our children who want to be in class back in class. That is our goal. These kids are our future. These kids have really been hurt in some cases by not being in school. Some of them have gotten further behind. And quite candidly, according to the educators that I talked to, some of the children who were already behind now have been most impacted. And they're further behind than they had been before. So our goal is to get all these children back in school. The vaccine gives us a tool that schools did not have, that educators did not have, that school boards did not have. And so we're going to make the vaccine available to the schools to accomplish the goal of getting the kids back in school. Now, make it very clear, this decision will always be up to parents. And parents want to make a decision, they feel the child's better off remote. That's fully acceptable. That's fine. Parents know what is best for their own children and should make those individual decisions. So we're going to offer vaccines. We're going to offer vaccines to all schools that want to go back or remain in person. So if a school has been out, not been able to go back, not to be in person, if that school makes the decision, we want to go back in person, we then will be able to offer to that school the ability to vaccinate all the adults in the building, the teachers, bus drivers, the custodians, people in clerical, anybody who is in that building, people who work in the cafeteria, anybody in that building who will come in contact with children, they will be able to get a vaccine. Now, what I cannot tell you today is exactly the date that that is going to occur. Our goal is to start this phase around the middle of January. The subgroups within them, schools included, will be scheduled from there. So we don't know if schools will start on that date or not. But our goal, at a minimum, is for any child in the state that wants to be back in school to be back in school by March 1st. Now, again, many schools are already in person. Many are planning to go back in person after the first of the year. So that doesn't interfere in anyone's decision. But we believe it's important. I personally believe it's important that parents have this option, that schools have this option, that children have this option to be back in school. I've heard for the last 9 months about this. And let's keep in mind that these children were not in school in the spring. We accomplished a great deal because the state pulled back. We kept the curve flattened. We saved many, 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 many lives. But it means that they were not in school in the spring. Schools did the best that they could remotely. And we've also seen, based on what I just read, that we have a number of children who are not in school today. So we want to provide that opportunity for any school that wants to go back in person or stay in person. That opportunity will be there. Now, we're still working out the details, but again, our goal is to have kids back in school, if the parents want them to be, back by March 1st. Let me mention one more thing before I turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor. And I mentioned this last week. And again, there's no state order on this, but after talking to our health experts a lot about this, I want to emphasize something that I said last week. And that is this, that as we look forward to heading back to school after the holidays, it's important for schools, for kids, teachers, everyone to get off to a good start. With this in mind, I know that some of our schools are choosing to delay coming back for a week or so after the new year. I think that's a good idea. And I think I would ask that schools take a look at this. And if that will work for them, I would like for them to do that. This is based upon what our medical experts have told us. It is a great way to create a buffer between unintended holiday exposures, which may occur in the classroom. And I encourage our schools to consider this step.